Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday to you. Welcome to today's Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream. We are in the Diamond Aircraft 40NG, November Golf. We are flying from Bechar to Casablanca. We'll be in Algeria. We're going to fly across here and land in Casablanca. 6,000 feet. So we're going to turn the weather off. If only because that way we can kind of see some of the sights along the way and all that. So we will get going here in just a moment. Just want to make sure everything's running just fine. Perfect. All right, here we go. Let's go in here and get our weather changed and get everything else set up for our departure. And we will get in the air. Hopefully everybody's having a good day today. Inching closer to Christmas here. We will be flying Christmas Day. We'll be flying Christmas Eve. So do come in and hang out if you want to.
SB 237 at runway 24 ready for departure IFR to Mohammed V.
A 40 SB 237 altimeter tree, 0.30 wind 200 at 8. Cleared for takeoff runway 24.
Cleared for takeoff runway 24 a 40 SB 237.
Alright, let's get that changed. And then we'll have to check our altimeter as well to make sure that that's updated. I think it just did. We'll double check that one. That's correct. And that one's correct. Perfect. Okay. So we have our... Make sure all of our lights are on. Yep. Okay. Did it say what's our altitude? Probably saying to go right to 6,000 feet. Yep. Okay. Yeah, we can minimize that. So altitude. Put that in right now. Oops. There we go. Alright, just have a look outside here. There's our cool little plane. Alright, let's do this. Away we go. Oops. I have to turn the flight director on before we took off. It will get us back on track here.
A 40 SB 237 contact Algeria Center on 125.7. Good day.
Oops.
125.7 for a 40 SB 237. Algiers Center a 40 SB 237 is at 3,500 feet climbing 6,000 feet.
A 40 SB 237 Algiers Center altimeter 29.9 to continue to Echo Romeo Alpha as planned. A 40 SB 237 climb and maintain 16,000 feet.
Why would I go to 16,000 feet?
16,000 feet, a 40 SB 237.
40 SB 237 climb and maintain flight level 180.
Climb and maintain flight level 180 A40 SB 237.
That seems rather high. Like the first one I think is reasonable, but we were... That seems rather strange. I don't know why it would... Let's get to 6,000 feet first, and then we'll talk about going higher. That seems, because we filed it at 6,000. I don't know why it would want to change all of a sudden. That's very odd. Interesting. Let's see, it said flight level 180, right? Yeah, let's see if we can go... 8,000 would be reasonable.
Algiers Center A40 SB 237. Request
And
minus
why would-
4,000 feet.
A 40 SB 237 request denied.
That was rather odd. Okay. Well, it's not telling us to expedite, so I think we're okay. All right. This is one of the things that I found quite interesting on in this plane. You'll notice that this is still kind of over revved, right? The engine there,
A 40
still
SB
flashing.
237, please expedite your climb flight level 180.
That just doesn't make any sense. Know that this plane can go, it's supposed to go that high, but okay, where is my, there it is. We're just gonna make our way. We're not gonna expedite, we're just gonna make our way there. We'll just make a slow climb. Screw it.
A 40 SB 237, please expedite your climb flight level 180.
So yeah, this is a pretty cool little plane, I think. got a pretty neat design, I think. It seems to me very organic, right? It's almost got like a. It seems like whoever designed this plane has studied like bugs, you know, and how they fly. You know, like they've taken the shape and looked at how they can kind of use that here in the plane. So yeah, pretty cool little plane, I think. Yeah, we're not going to try to break the plane trying to go to 180. I don't even know. I think that might be. I don't even know if that's like beyond the capabilities of the plane. I guess as we climb higher, we'll know. But that's why I'm not rushed to get there. We'll just kind of enjoy the scenery here. So, quick reminder for those of you who are watching, if you weren't here yesterday, you missed a great flight in this Pitts Special S2S over in Australia. So, changes in the new year. We will be taking viewer requested flights. The first, and that'll be on Fridays. So the first Fridays already in January, the first few, let's see, that would be, let me look at my calendar here, so I'm telling you the whole story. The 7th, the 14th, and the 21st have already been taken up. Now, the week that we start, the one for the 21st, I will open it up for the 28th. So I've got kind of most of January planned out already, but as we get closer to that, I will have that as an option. Okay. So we will try that, and I will kind of go over quickly. So how it works is when I say it's first come first serve. Okay. So whoever puts in a route for the 28th, not today, but once we get into January, whoever gives me a route, it has to be, I need the airport, the departure, and the arrival. I need both of those names. Morning, Mick. And I need at least a nearby town. Now, understand that the airport name may not be the same in real life as it is in the game. There might be some discrepancies, but if you can give me a general idea of where to look, I can check it out. About no longer than 3 hours. If it takes a little bit longer because of technical difficulties or whatever, that's fine, but I'm trying to keep it limited. Okay. But I need to know those airports because I need to kind of get an idea of what plane I'm going to be flying on that route. Okay. Not everything can take an Airbus, so don't think that because you're asking for that airport that it's automatically going to be a jetliner of some kind. Okay. That's not going to be possible. So no major long distance flights. Max of 3 hours. But I need the information as best as possible. If I can't find it, I will offer you a compromise. And if you are not willing to accept the compromise, then I can't fly the route. Okay. So you work with me, I'll work with you. Okay. That's how we're going to try to do it. So that's what we're going to start in the new year. I've already got some, got it filled up for most of January. The only one that's going to be open, or the one that's still open, is the 28th. But we'll talk about that as we get into January. So, yeah, cool little plane. So apparently we have to go to 180. I don't quite know why. It doesn't make any sense. If our flight plan was 6,000 feet, why didn't it say like 16,000 feet was our cruise altitude. It's very strange. I don't know. So, yeah, just, I'll be happy to work with you and try to get that done. But that'll be on Fridays. And again, if you're not here for the live stream, I can't help that. So, you know, because not everybody's in the same time zone, and I can't, as much as I'd like to, it's not easy for me to change my schedule to fit your schedule. So I do try to go to sleep at a reasonable hour as much as possible. So anyway, so for those of you who weren't here yesterday, I will keep saying it until everybody gets an idea what's happening. So all right. I got 3 viewers over on YouTube. Well, thank you all for coming in. If you wouldn't mind, give me a thumbs up while you're hanging out. It'd be greatly appreciated. We do try to fly daily, within reason, of course. A lot of that is dependent on my schedule. So if there's changes where I cannot fly for some reason, I will try to let you know, try to say something so that everybody kind of knows what's happening and it isn't looking for me at a certain time or whatever. So try to keep everybody informed. Yeah, pretty cool little plane, I think. Oops. That switch seemed like it's not. I thought it was like on just a smidge or something. Alright, so we're climbing, so I guess they're fine with it. We haven't gotten the calls to expedite anything. Mitt says good morning and nobody says
contact Casablanca Center on 125.1.
Wow.
Good day.
125.1 for A40SB237. Casablanca Center A40SB237 is at 8,800 feet climbing flight level 180.
A 40SB237 Casablanca Center altimeter 29.902 continue to Echo Romeo Alpha as planned.
That's the one in front of us there. Hopefully everybody's doing well. People watching, nobody's saying boo. What's going on? You know what? I would think somewhere, most planes have some kind of a safety placard somewhere that talks about the capabilities of the plane. I kind of feel like it's maybe right there. Aha, there it says limitations for autopilot system. I'm looking for, there it is. I think that's it. Let's see if I can. I have to kind of get closer to the TV to read this. I'm looking for like maximum ceiling. I don't see that there. Cruise climb descent maneuvering 600 feet AGL. Alright, do not use alternate static. Autopilot off during takeoff and landing. Okay. Yeah, normally there's like some kind of a speed, or not speed, but like a service ceiling, you know, operate no higher. Hi Daniel, how are you? Well, let's see, somebody over on Twitch. Skip, how are you? Change to live chat. Right, there we go. Yeah, all good here, but lurking here at the moment. Oh, that's fine. Glad to see you here. Thank you for coming back. I know last time you were here in the stream, things were a bit chaotic, and I was trying to explain things through the messaging. I did. Yeah, I've made some changes. I was going to email or message, and I think he's a bit tied up because Arish, and kind of go over some things with him about my channel, but I'm going to leave him alone because I think he's got some family stuff going on. So, but glad to see you here, Skip. Sorry to hear that, Daniel. That sucks. Oh, went surprisingly well considering there was no chat available last time. Yeah, and I did. Arash and I talked about it. He messaged me and we talked a bit, and he's, he said, I understand completely why you did what you did, so there's been some adjustments made and some changes for the new year. I think you heard them because you've been lurking. So, yeah, hopefully that will kind of bring some people around. It's very difficult to sort out the people who are just not going to follow the rules versus the people who are, because people can come in and be fine for a bit and then suddenly lose their minds. So, yeah. Yeah, that sucks, Daniel. Hopefully you get better soon. So tomorrow's flight will be a little bit later in the morning. I will try to get back home as quickly as possible once I conclude my appointment in the morning. And we were flying from Ottawa to Bar Harbor in the DA62, which is the twin prop Diamond aircraft. So, should be a fun flight. So as soon as I get home, I will try to go live as expeditiously and forthwith as possible. Try to do that, and then that's Wednesday. Thursday, let me look at my notes for Thursday, where we're going and all that. Thursday's flight will be in the CTSL. We are going from Eagle Creek Airport to Tullahoma. That'll be in America. That is one of the other standard edition planes that we're going to be flying to get the 300-mile trips done. So, should be a good flight tomorrow and Thursday as well. And we'll look at Fridays here in just a moment. Friday will be in the JMB VL3 going from Deleghaza, I might be pronouncing that wrong, to Sofia. So that should be a nice flight. That's Christmas Eve. Christmas Day we will be in the Brabant DR400 Cadet going from Bern to Perpignan. Another VFR flight. So we'll try to maintain our VFR sort of stuff. We'll take off and try to level off at a reasonable altitude and then fly have a good flight. We've been making our way to flight level 180. We're still climbing. Still perplexed as to how that happened or why that happened, but it did. I was set to ignore it, but it's alright. Yeah, no worries, Daniel. Hope you feel better soon. Sucks being sick, especially I hate getting sick around the holidays. That's the worst. There is no fun in that, for sure. cool little plane, I think. I've throttled back. I don't know why the RPMs doesn't come out of that range there. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But I don't know if that's just a glitch or what. I kind of feel like we're somewhat approaching maybe the limitations of the plane. I could be wrong though. I mean, there is cabin. No. It's airflow. That's the parking brake. I don't know that if there's a pressurization thing for the plane, or if it's an automatic. Let me look this up. Since you don't have prop lever, yeah, or in the DA40, yeah, there's no, no way to feather the prop or anything. It's all like, it's a fixed pitch, I think, is what they call it. So I think that's why it's, let's see. That's not what I was looking for. I'm looking for an actual. Yeah, it's a constant speed propeller. Consumption takeoff. Max operating altitude is. Yeah, see, it's supposed to say max operating altitude is 16,000, I think, if I'm reading that correctly. So yeah, we're going to be going beyond throttle back. You maybe, yeah, I've tried doing that. That's the thing, is I've throttled back a bit and it's still like it's still maintaining that rev at over 2300 RPM. Like it won't come out of it. Yeah, we need to let me try asking for 16,000 feet.
Casablanca Center, A40SB237.
See, something's not right.
A 40SB237 request denied.
All right, I'm gonna keep. Oops, shoot. Oops, I did that myself. Oops, a daisy. All right, let's just dial this back to 16,000 feet. Let's go. Actually 15,000. I think that's more reasonable. There's no way we're going to go that high in this plane. I don't know why it's doing that, though. It's very strange that it's telling us to go beyond the capabilities of the aircraft. And this is something that's happened before that we've encountered. For some reason. I don't know why that is. And reducing the altitude, it's like, it's not giving me my normal sort of, you know, reductions. Just go pan, 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 and descend. No. I think we're going to be fine. It's just, it's very, this is kind of a strange flight today. I don't know why. It's the ATC's acting up. I don't know if there was like, maybe there's something going on. I don't know. But, well, we're just going to stay right here at 15,000 feet, and we'll be fine. We're right below the recommended service ceiling. That's just strange that it would... I had a feeling that we were getting close to the limitations, and I probably should have looked at it. But my expectation was we were going to be at 6,000 feet the entire flight. You know, so something's amiss today. That's for sure. I don't know what it is, but something's not right. The weather's off, so it can't be the altimeter reading. I double checked all the altimeters to make sure that they're all legit. So yeah, it's very strange. Yeah, we'll just go right to 15,000, and we're just gonna have to deal with the crazy calls. To expedite our climb to flight level 180, but we're just going to have to ignore it because it's just, that just does not make any sense at all. So I mean, certainly that is well beyond our planes, but that's not the, like I was saying before, it's strange because that's not the first time that's happened in the sim. Like, it's just something's not right, and it didn't seem like it was something that was happening, hadn't happened in a while, just like on a regular, you know, we knew, you know, when I looked and it's okay, 6,000 feet, that seems a bit low, but you know, I thought, well, at least we'd have a nice view of the desert here. But then to go, it said to go to 16,000 feet, and then up to flight level 180, and that's why I'm like, that's just something seems off. I don't know. But we will continue. We'll level off here at 150, and we're just going to have to ignore ATC. I know it's going to get crazy here for the remainder of the flight, very likely. I can't, for some reason, it's not allowing me to request a reduction in altitude that makes sense, you know. Like, I'd be happy at 8,000 feet, I think, would be reasonable. Now, it very well may be because I...
Please expedite your climb flight level 180.
Nope. Negative. I think the reason why it did this is because we're going to have to pass over these low mountains, I guess, to get to Casablanca. if the pan option was too extreme, try squawking 7700 then. I wouldn't even know how to change the squawk code in this, quite honestly, Skip, because I've tried to tinker around with the systems, and I couldn't even tell you how I could change that. Like, I have no idea. Like, I've racked my brain about the approach and everything. Like, we had that problem the other day.
Please expedite your climb flight level 180.
And again, I think it's a limitation on the Xbox side of things. I couldn't even. I have no idea how I could change that, to be honest. So like it's just built in. Like when we took off, I think the squawk is already like in the system. So I couldn't even begin to think about how to change it. So we're just gonna plod along here and deal with the crazy ATC. I apologize that it's gonna get a bit odd. So now I could turn off the ATC, I think, in the flight.
A 40 SB 237, please expedite your climb flight level 180.
I kind of feel once we're over those mountains and getting in closer into Casablanca, things will kind of settle down. So, yeah, I don't even know what the pan option is, to be honest. And again, I appreciate your knowledge. It seems to me, and if it's not the case, I don't know. Like, I've tried to figure out how all this stuff works within the confines of the Xbox version of the sim. I don't know where that would even be at or how to access it, because I've tried to figure out like to activate the approach mode and all that stuff, and yeah, it's the Garmin, this version, and even the one that Working Title has been working on, it seems like in the Xbox side of things do not work as intended. So yeah, I don't know. In the NXI, there should be an XPDR soft key in the PFD. Okay. XPDR soft key.
Please expedite your climb flight level 180.
Okay, I see that. Okay, now if I press code, would it be code or ident? I'm gonna try code. All right, maybe this is it. 7700.
A 40 SB 237, your transponder appears inoperative or malfunctioning. Reset squawk 0231.
All right, now if I go 0, 3, 2, 1. I guess enter.
A 40 SB 237, please expedite your climb flight level 180. A 40 SB 237, verify squawking 0231.
Oh, see, that went altitude.
A 40 SB 237, reset transponder. Squawk 0231.
Yeah, I don't know. Something's not right.
40SB237 IFR flight plan is canceled. Radar service terminated. Squawk 7000. Maintain VFR.
Yeah, see, now it canceled my flight plan now.
Good day.
Yeah, I had a...
40 SB237 is type diamond to 42 2 miles east of Arakidia, 15,000 feet. Request flight following.
A 40 SB237 Casablanca Center. Squawk 7322.
Yeah, that's why I was saying,
Squawk 7322 a
yeah,
40 SB237.
I don't...
A 40 SB237 radar contact 21 miles east of Arakidia, 15,000 feet.
And it may not let me refile my
Roger,
IFR.
A 40 SB237.
Yeah, there we go.
Casablanca Center, a 40 SB237 21 miles east of Arakidia. Request IFR to Mohammed V. Ready to copy.
A 40 SB237 is cleared to Mohammed V. Airport as filed. Squawk 7322.
A 40 SB237 cleared to Mohammed V. Airport as filed. Squawk 7322.
A 40 SB237 read back direct.
Okay, it gave us the wrong squawk code, that's why.
Altimeter 29.92, continue to Echo Romeo Alpha turning and following
There we
heading
go.
280, proceed on course, descend and maintain 6,000 feet.
Continue to Echo Romeo Alpha turning and following heading 280, resume on navigation, descend and maintain 6,000 feet. A 40 SB237.
A 40 SB237
All right.
descend and maintain 12,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 12,000 feet. A 40 SB237.
A 40 SB237 climb and maintain flight level
See, now
180.
Climb and maintain flight level 180. A 40 SB237.
Yeah, I think it's because of the mountains that we're near. Yeah, there's something not right. So, like I said, Skip, I do appreciate your knowledge. It just seems that there's... And I think maybe that's something that they're working on, or maybe in the new... The working title they have it. I don't know, because I've had bad experiences with the working title, NXI. So, yeah, it seems to be hit and miss. So we're just going to have to ignore it and just get over these hills, and then we should be able to descend. I mean, they don't seem like they're very high. Like, I think maybe 10,000 feet is reasonable, but it's hard to say. And that's why I didn't want the weather on, like if it was going to be cloudy and stuff. It's, yeah, very strange. So, but I do appreciate the idea. It's just, I thought that if we reset it, that the squawk would have changed, and then they would have been like not as silly, I guess. You know. So we're just going to continue on, and we're just going to, unfortunately. Now I think let me look at my. That's not where it would
be. A 40 SB237, please expedite your climb flight level 180.
I think I would have to basically pause it and turn off the ATC, but I thought I would be able to do it right here under the weather. Yeah, we're just gonna. Well, I guess I could.
40 SB237, please expedite your climb flight level 180.
Well, let's just get, we'll just get there. I apologize that you guys are going to hear this constant berating of going to a higher altitude that is beyond the capability of our... And in retrospect, when you make the flight plan in the game, hello, Amela, it seems to me, yeah, the NXI has had quite a few updates and a massive load of new features getting closer to the real thing. Yes, exactly. You know, you could see you get an idea that there's some peaks and valleys kind of through here, but the level of how high they are does not really give you a good idea of what to expect. So I guess maybe it's telling me to go higher for safety reasons, although our plane can't go higher really than 16,000 feet. Like 18,000, I think, would be really pushing the limits, and what I don't want to have happen is we get a problem with the aircraft, and then it craps out, and then we crash. So, I mean, I think we're already at the limit of within reason. So yeah, this is a very, very odd situation to be in, but we're just gonna try to get through it as best as we can. Hello, Mr. Addies. How are you? Please do leave a thumbs up there in YouTube. Greatly appreciate it. 5 viewers. Nice to see you all here. I mean, 16,000, 15,000 feet, I think we're fine. We're not like flying right over the mountaintops, you know, nap of the earth sort of thing. So I think we're okay.
40 SB237, please expedite your climb flight level 180.
Alright, so there's our next waypoint. We're going to turn here shortly, I think. And that will get us a little bit closer to our destination there in Casablanca. Should be a pretty straightforward approach and everything. I'm thinking. Now, I have an ILS approach. If for whatever reason the approach thing doesn't take hold, then we will fly it in manually if we have to. Which shouldn't be too much of a problem, I don't think. In a little plane like this.
The 40 SB237, please expedite your climb flight level 180.
So. But yeah, I know what you mean, Skip. I have been following the development, and there is a YouTuber, Kip on the Ground. I know he does updates whenever there's an update. I think he did one the other day with the NVIDIA released an updated driver, but it's causing... that wasn't necessarily for the Garmin system, but he does try to update, keep people posted of what's going on with the Working Titles Garmin system that they've been working on, so I've been kind of keeping an eye on that. So Well, at least it's some interesting scenery, that's for sure. That NVIDIA driver was the game itself. Many people were complaining and did try it without add-ons with no luck. Yeah.
Please expedite your climb flight level 180.
And that's one of the things that kind of bothers me about the you know, the PC side of the sim. There's a lot of things that are happening that just doesn't make much sense, you know, or you get a yeah, if it ain't broken, don't. Exactly. But I think they feel, you know, there's some kind of pressure from the simmers to have updated drivers, or possibly, I don't know, I could be wrong. And it's just they put stuff out and it's not really tested very well, I don't think, and they're just like, well, try this, and then everybody's like, it doesn't work. So, hello, Jamal. How are you? Thank you for coming in. Yeah, yeah, that's one of the things that kind of concerns me about the PC side of the sim, you know. So, but not that that's Asobo or Microsoft's fault. It's just, you know, you think that it will give, you know, things will be okay, and then it's just that's not the case. So. Now it's interesting, when I made this flight plan, why would it have me at 6,000 feet when clearly, if we were at 6,000 feet, we would probably be close to running into those mountains. Lurking, in other words, at work. Okay. Well, thank you for lurking while you're at work. I guess just don't get in trouble. I can't be held responsible. But thank you for coming in.
Please expedite your climb flight level 180.
Yeah, maybe this was a bit off more than I could chew on this route, on this flight. But we're gonna make it work. If we have to deviate around anything, we'll do that. If we have to, and then we'll get back on track. So we're just gonna kind of continue on here. Really nice scenery, though, I have to admit. Very interesting scenery here. See, this would be another area you could take a fighter jet through and just go blazing through the canyons and all that. So, it's all you. Well, as a PC simmer, I can say I've had no issues, only the ones that Asobo added with certain updates I have to add, but nothing from add-ons or my PC. Okay, good. Glad to hear that. And that's just one of those, I think it's a, I've only had 4, okay. Yeah, it seems to me, and this is my observation, it seems that it's hit and miss with the PC. Some people have had a ton of problems. And again, I think you're right. Part of it is what Asobo puts out with the world update or sim update. And then others, it's the PC might not be as good as it was before. Like, it ran everything fine, but it's got its own, you know, they haven't updated stuff, and so they don't recognize that they need to update their drivers, and maybe they're, you know, they need to change, add more RAM or change their video card or whatever. And so it's easy to say, well, it's all Asobo's fault. Well, it's your system. You should know the capabilities of your PC and when to update it, And if you don't update it and you're like, well, everything's working fine, well, that's on you. It's not really the fault of anybody else. So,
The 40 SP237, please expedite your climb flight level 1.
All right, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. I'm tired of hearing this, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to 180 because I'm tired of this crap, because that's what it's become, is crap. It's getting annoying now. So I'm going to go, and when it gets crazy, that's going to be on the sim, not me. So we'll go. My PC is below the system requirements. Well, and see that again, Jamal, that's one of those weird things. When I look at the forums, it's, people are like, I've had no issues. And then other people are like, they're having issues daily. There's something, I don't know if it's operator error or something doesn't seem right. And of course, it's easy to say that it's Asobo/Microsoft's fault, because that's the normal, sort of blame. That's where the blame goes to. So I don't know, it's very odd. I don't understand it. And even now on the forums, I see when people put in what did you do in Flight Sim today? And then you have people, well, I did nothing because the game's not working, because da-da-da-da. Well, that's a very negative sort of, way of it. So I see a lot of the mods are deleting those comments because it doesn't, I don't know if it's that they're angry because people are enjoying the sim, or they're just trolls, or, it's just very difficult to figure out what's what. I flew good at times, normal. So, all right. So yeah, it just seems very hit and miss. And even on the Xbox, there's people who, I don't really generally have many problems, if at all. But on the other hand, there's people who have problems all the time. And again, I don't know if it's user error or operator error or what the deal is. So I really don't know. It's very difficult to understand the complexities of the whole thing. So anyway. Let me try to drink what's left of my coffee here. See, now we're starting to slow down because we're... Yeah, see, we're even struggling to maintain speed now because we're going beyond the capabilities of the plane. But you know what? We're going to do it. Screw it. We're going to do it. And we're going to see what happens. GPU GeoForce GTX 960 on PC. There are so many variables that I'm amazed at any game. Yeah, I would agree with that, Skip. Absolutely. Now, see, this would be one of those situations, I think, where if we had all the icing and all that kind of stuff off, we'd be screwed. I think right now we would be. But again, I think I don't know the region that well. It was a bit of a crapshoot to take this plane through here. I think it was probably a bit audacious on my part, so to speak. So hopefully we are going to make it. It's just going to be even slower flying now because we've lost a lot of speed and it may just be because we're climbing also. So hopefully we'll see what happens. But we'll see. They sim with the 960. Oh, graphics render scale, most of the settings. All right. Let's see if we gain some speed as we get closer to 180. Slowly making our way there. Now, I think I read somewhere that for like emergency purposes, you can go to just above or a few thousand feet, or maybe not even that, above your recommended service ceiling. It just can't be for an extended period of time. Now, obviously, it's going to be for an extended period of time until we're clear of these. Even though we were well clear of them at 15,000 feet, I think. But I just got fed up with hearing the nagging from ATC for something that it's very strange. The flight plan when I created, and I'm like 6,000 feet. I'm like, okay, then we must be just kind of going. The mountains or whatever that we might be passing over aren't super high. You know, maybe they're like 4,000 or 3,000 or something like that. Yeah, I've heard of people doing that, Jamal, and they say it's so much better. I saw an article about that recently. You gotta be kidding me.
Descend and maintain 8,900 feet, A40
You
SB237.
frickin' jerks. You've got to be kidding me. All that harassment to get to... God bless it. You've got to be kidding me. That's the one thing that makes me pull what little bit of hair out I have on this sim is stupid crap like that. This push. Go, 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 go. Go, go, go. Go to this altitude now. Get to the altitude now. And you go, and then they turn around and go like, well, now we want you to descend, like, a lot. Like, you can't be serious. Like, it just... So I'm just going to... Nope, I'm just going to take my time. I'm just going to take my time. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I thought that this whole silliness with the ATC had been fixed, quite honestly. I really did think that. Like, that was my understanding, that they had finally gotten to terms with it, but apparently not. I think 5,000 feet or 500 feet per second should be sufficient. I'm just not gonna. I'm not going to rush to get to 8,900.
A 40 SB237, please expedite
Nope.
your descent 8,900 feet.
Because I don't trust the terrain. I don't know it well enough to go just zipping right down to 8,900 feet. But I heard some people complaining about CDDs with Google Maps add-on, as was it crashing just the same before? That's a good question. I just remember here, I saw somewhere that somebody was talking about that add-on. But some people are like, they've never had any issues at all. And then again, it's one of those weird things. Some people, they put it in their add-on stuff and it's no issues. And other people, it's like, it doesn't work, so they uninstall it because they're like, it's not working for me, you know. That's a very strange predicament, I think. See, I think once we get past that other, like right there in front of us, there's kind of that weird sort of shaped mountain. Sorry, I'm late. I'm just getting ready for... Okay, that's fine, Chris. You don't have to apologize for anything. It's all good. No worries, man. No worries at all. Do what you got to do. You never have to apologize. Yeah, I think once we get past this, it's a very weird shaped mountainside here, I think. This thing right here across the front that I'm going, that I've got the nose of the plane on. Let's see, PC, the reason can be an old registry fragment from a software you had 3 years ago and installed you. Yeah. Well, and people who've come in having issues on the PC side, I always refer them to the forums. I'm like, I'm not on the PC. I couldn't even begin to tell you how to solve your problems. So if you go there, there should be a pretty good knowledge base. Man, look at this. This is a pretty interesting area right through here. Look at that. Very cool. Kind of see the... I don't know if that's how it is in real life. I'm guessing it is, but the lines there... Man, that's just amazing. We might have to come back and do a tour through here someday. Kind of just fly around everything. Anywho, so I don't know what else to say. I mean, that's very interesting conversation over on the Twitch side about the ins and outs of the PC sort of side of the sim.
40 SB237, please expedite your descent 8,900 feet.
Negative. I am not expediting anything. You got me to go to almost 8 flight level 180, and then you tell me to go to 8,900. Nope, you could stuff it. I will take a nice leisurely descent to be safe. I think that's more important. We've already bled off about 2,500 feet as it is over that little distance. So we will just take our time. be nice and safe about it, I think. I thought I did check to see if there was any like updates out this morning, because sometimes you just never know when something might be, an update might be released. So I always try to check before I fly and update anything that needs to be updated, although I think it's generally on Thursdays, but you just never know when something might get pushed out a couple days early because of the upcoming holidays. Yeah, really nice terrain here. Really lovely scenery, I think. Ooh, there might be a little mountain, little airport right there. Ooh, might be able to do some like get the 208 Bravo and just come fly out and go to climb over the mountains and zip down into another airport on the other side. Yeah. Yeah, like last week it did. They for the Xbox side, they finally fixed it where you could do the cold startup. The little door to the left of the pilot is automatically latched because they weren't able to get it to where you could click on something and close it manually. So yeah, it is. I think it's much better than it was before. You can do the whole startup procedure on, you know, in a parking spot, the cold and dart sort of stuff that lots of simmers like to do. So yeah, I would definitely recommend you give that a go, Skip. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy flying the Spitfire. It was a bit of a handful at first because I didn't really understand how to fly the plane, even on my little Xbox controller. But now it's just nailing the landings a bit better. That's where I'm working on. All right, take care, Milla. Thanks for coming in for a while. Hopefully you have a good day. Still haven't tested Kodiak either. Been a few days without simming, but holidays soon. Yeah, I've heard, from my understanding, most everybody has a pretty favorable view of the Kodiak. There's a few people are kind of like, but on average, I think most everybody's like, they really like it. So I can't wait for it to come to the Xbox. It's one of those ones that I'd really like to be able to add to the repertoire, as I call it. So yeah, I just think that it would be nice to be able to have that to fly as well. Kind of in the same vein as the Grand Caravan, the 208 Bravo from Cessna. You know, those little sort of short flights, you know, like when we done some stuff over in Burma or anything like that, where you take off on a little dirt runway, and you up in the mountains, you shoot off and you turn for your next airport and you land and you're dropping off supplies and maybe people or whatever. Yeah, it's
The 40 SB237, please expedite your descent.
Yeah.
1,900 feet.
I had a feeling that would be the case, Skip. And so when I heard about it, I was like, man, it'd be great if, but of course, you know, PC gets it first. Hopefully we'll get it within January, maybe early February. But yeah, I would like to be able to have that as an option. Because, you know, like in an area like this, if we look at the scenery out here, it appears like there's these little, you know, small airports out here, you know, in this region. So, you know, that possibly people are dropping off medical supplies or whatever the case may be. So yeah, you could kind of have some fun with those little bits of flights. You take off and you maybe zip through here and you go to an airport over there, and it's just, you know, like low mountain flying.
Please expedite your descent 8,900 feet.
Well, we're getting there. We're almost at 12,000, so we're fine. I'm quite happy just to take our time reducing the altitude. So yeah, it would add another dimension to what we could do, you know, within not just flying in Europe or in America, but just even in parts of the world like this, that you can, you know, just take off from this mountainside, probably this little airport right here, if that's what it is. I think it probably is, but that you would have, you know, it would be much more fun as well. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, to kind of add some different dimension to what we do here on the channel. 'Cause I try to, usually, not always, but I try to have like a little backstory when we fly. You know, like today we're going to be flying from here to here, and we're taking medical supplies, or, oh, that's just a town, not a airstrip. But either way, you know, I'm sure there's got to be like little dirt strips out here in the middle of nowhere, basically, that you could, you know, kind of have those little flights of delivering supplies and bail, and, you know, maybe a doctor or something, you know. So I like having those little backstories, kind of, you know. So makes for an interesting time, I think.
A 40 SB 237, please expedite your descent 8,900 feet.
Where are we at? Okay, we just passed 12,000. We're into 11. Alright, I guess I could add a little bit more. Let's try that, see if that satisfies their insanity. Sky Park helps with that. Then again, CP only, yeah, or PC, yeah. Kip on the ground uses that one a lot too. The Sky Park thing, the Sky Park missions or whatever. Oh, excuse me. I noticed that's something he does a lot in his videos, in his streams. So yeah, it'd be nice if we had the Sky Park option on the Xbox. I don't think that's ever going to come, though. It'd be nice if it did, if they could at least have some kind of a console version of it, I guess. I don't know if that's possible or not, but that would be nice. Alright, well, hopefully now we finally got him to shut up. And we're making our way past 10,000. We'll be below 10,000 here soon. And then we'll level off there at 8,900. And see what happens after that.
A 40 SB 237, climb and maintain flight level 180.
You've got to be kidding me. No. No. No.
Climb and maintain flight level 180 A 40
Nah.
SB 237.
I'm not on a roller coaster ride today. This... No. Nope. 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 We're staying right at 8,900. Nope. Negative. 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 All right. Oh. Ever done any? Yeah, I've done a few kind of like, no, I don't do multiplayer yet, Jamal. My friend, Mick and I are planning that in the near future. He's on the PC side and I'm on the Xbox, so we're just trying to figure out how to make all that work.
40 SB237, please expedite your climb flight level 180.
No, I turned the weather off. So, no, because I didn't know. So historical flights, I've done a few kind of like areas where, like, we're gonna do a Spitfire flight in the new year. We're gonna go by the Normandy beaches and all that, and then we'll go in for landing over at Seine Valley Airport, Rouen. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. So yeah, we're gonna do that, I'm gonna do that. But yeah, we're talking about or historical stuff. Yeah, I try to go like different areas. Not like like I know there's been some people who've done like the flight along the, like the route that they kind of figure where Amelia Earhart was flying when she disappeared, or they kind of followed what she was able to complete before she disappeared. So in that aspect, no, I've not done that. Because we don't have the same planes as possibly on the PC side, so it's kind of hard to do that. And I would need to kind of get a bit more comfortable, and that's something I want to do in the new year as well. Like I watched Arish. I might. I'll call him Captain R. The celestial navigation. I thought that was very cool about how he did that, and was, like showing how to figure all that stuff out and pinpoint where you are, because, you didn't have a Garmin system. You had a compass and a sextant and if you were lucky, some kind of chart, but you knew where the stars were, and you were able to kind of figure out where you were in the world. I don't know that I would get that in depth, but I think the idea of, plus they had technically a stopwatch, I guess, or, they had a watch where they could time, whether it was a chronograph of some kind or a stopwatch, but they knew they had to go on this heading for this long of time, and then they would say, okay, at that point, say like 30 minutes later, you either turned left or right, or you maintained your, maybe you just did a slight change in heading. So that part of it is really fascinating to me. Yeah, Captain Arish. Yeah, I've seen hers. I did watch some of her stuff on Twitch. So yeah, I find that stuff fascinating, but yet, like Captain R was saying, it's a lot of math, and sometimes if math is not your strongest subject, it's easy to get, you can make bad calculations, and he was talking about how in in Apollo 13, the movie, when everything was done by a slide rule. They were figuring all their trajectories and stuff, and they were doing all their math on slide rules, and then Tom Hanks' character had to call back to Houston and say, verify my math, and you see all these guys pull the slide rules, their slide rulers out, and they're checking everything. Yep, it's all good. Which is, that they didn't have a calculator or have a time to, figure out how to verify that math much quicker. They just did it because that was the way that they were used to doing it, was with the slide rule, which I think is absolutely amazing. I remember I had one as a kid. I think my dad gave it to me, or my grandfather. Somebody gave me one, and I never figured out how to use it. And I wish I had, because it's one of those things that's kind of a lost art. We easily get on our phones and or on a computer and put in the equation or whatever, and what's the answer, Ali is a beast. 15 hours straight, manual flying with the steerman, several legs like that in the whole flight plan. Yeah. That is a lot of flying. And kudos to them. Like, I would like to be able to do that at some point, but it's difficult for me to plan that because of, you know, I have appointments with the VA for my health care that I have to take care of. That's the precedent. So I try to fit in things within reason, of course, you know. So, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I did watch when I was watching once Captain R landed. He had realized where his math was wrong, and I think he did a little update about it. He talked about it in the Discord, I think, about where he made the mistake and all that. Where was I going with this? But yeah, then there was the raid on Allison's channel, and I did watch that for a bit, but then I was like, I got other things I got to do, so I did watch it for a while. I think I have watched her channel before, for you know, for a little while.
Please expedite your climb flight level 180.
Well, I think we're out of the hills now, so hopefully this call for 180 will cease and desist. Maybe we can start to have a little bit more pleasant flight here going into Casablanca. But we did just fine. Bit crazy there for a bit, but we're okay. Did you see the relay stream of the DC-6 going back home? Fabio was pretty good on Slip. No, I have not seen that one. I'd have to go in there and find it. And it, you know, and that's the great thing about, you know,
please expedite your climb flight level 180.
Whether it was the DC-6 or the Constellation, I mean, that's, you know, well, by then they had charts, and, you know, of course you had a navigator who plotted the course and say, okay, at this point, and again, that's part of that, having that, you know, a stopwatch or chronograph of some kind, that they would keep the time and say, okay, at this point in the flight, you know, in an hour or 2 hours or whatever, you're going to turn and maintain this heading. So the pilot and the navigator would certainly talk, you know, and keep things updated, and then if there was weather, you know, could the navigator find a way around, or, you know, or are they just going to fly right through it and just take their chances, and, you know, or can they climb above it, sort of stuff. You know, that was before we had, you know, many planes now have a weather radar system installed. Certainly the jetliners do, and so they get updated weather information throughout the flight, or they can call in and request you know, a higher altitude or something, or a different course if the weather's going to be bad. Although sometimes it's just, there's no way they can go anywhere, you know. And I did a flight when I flew in real life from LaGuardia to Syracuse. We were already late taking off because we had a problem with the systems in the aircraft. We were sitting off the runway, off the taxiway, while they were getting everything restarted, and then they had to refile their flight plan because so much time had passed that their original flight plan was no longer valid. So they had to refile everything. They had to get everything signed off, and the pilot said, hey, unfortunately, we're going to be flying right through the storm, kind of, or we're going to try to go around the edge, but he said it's going to be a bumpy flight, and I apologize. I asked if we could go to a bit higher altitude. They said no. So, and it was not a fun flight by any stretch of the imagination. The poor woman behind me got sick on the flight. It was one continuous stream spread out over several streamers in a couple of days. When the first guy landed, they rated the next streamer who took off from that spot was pretty... Oh! That is cool. Very interesting. So yeah, that's another thing too, that even though a pilot could say, I think for the comfort of the passengers, can we find a way around this? Can we go above it? Can we try to find a different route? And if they say no, oh well, you know, deal with it. Yeah, that poor woman though, oh, she was just miserable. And I had my earbuds in the whole time, so I didn't know she had gotten sick until we had landed, and then as we were taxiing, the flight attendant came over and talked to her and was like, you know, kind of helped her get cleaned up a bit and everything. And then that's when I realized, and I'm like, thank goodness I had my earbuds in. I would not have wanted to know about all that. That's where Fabio crossed the pond from Africa to us using... Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Wow. That's pretty amazing. Anyway. What was I saying? So yeah, it seems that even with, you know, weather systems and knowing...
Please expedite your climb flight level 180.
I really thought that by now we would have gotten away from that silliness. I'm not doing it, because they're just... It's like they're just having a laugh at me. So I'm just going to stay right here at 8,900 feet. And we're just going to keep making our way to Casablanca there. And we're just going to keep going. Anyway,
A 40 SB237, please expedite your climb flight level 180.
now let's see if I can. Let's see if I do a reduction by 10,000.
Casablanca Center, A40 SB
Nope.
237.
It's off for
Request
some
minus
reason.
4,000 feet.
A 40 SB237 request denied.
Yeah. That's very strange. So that's not working today. I don't know. So yeah, I think we're fine at 8,900 feet here. Let me drink some water here. All right. So we'll just keep moving along here, I guess. Well, that's all we can do. I think after this marker or the next one, let's see, where is the range on this? Zooming in. I want to zoom out. Alright, so yeah, the next marker after the one in front of us, that's when we'll start to turn towards the airport there.
A 40 SB237, please expedite your climb flight level 180.
I think that's... Let's change that one more time to 10. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, I know him, Skip. Yeah. I've watched some of his stuff. He was one of the first few people I found on Twitch when I was looking for like information on Microsoft Flight Sim and trying to improve my flying and you know, understanding some of the systems a bit better, you know, or as much as possible. So yeah, I have watched him a few times. You know what we're going to do? Hold on a second. I think it's under... Nope, it's under general options maybe? Traffic. No, it's... where is the... I'm just going to... If I can find it, I'm going to turn off... I know there was a thing for, is it a miscellaneous? No. I guess I can't change it.
A 40 SB237, please expedite your climb flight level 180.
I know there's got to be a thing to turn off the ATC. I'm almost positive, unless somehow that option has been removed. Clear up some of this stuff because I don't really use everything.
A 40 SB237, please expedite your climb flight level 180.
ATC is in the game menu on PC at least. I mean, the game settings. Okay. That's what I thought. Assistance options, maybe? Nope. Piloting. Nope. User experience. No. I don't know where...
Please expedite your climb flight level 180.
I thought there was a place where you could open up a menu here, like under like the weather or something, and then you could turn off the ATC. I know there was a place before, but I maybe it's all the way out in the main, you know, in the main sort of area.
Please expedite your climb flight level 180.
I may have. It sounds like very likely today that there's just a hiccup. Either the system is glitched or I don't know. I know they've been. I think that they're wrapping up the beta for the next sim update, so that could be why it's happening. I kind of feel like that's a possibility, even though I'm not taking part in the beta testing. I mean, I'm just kind of guessing here, but that's what it seems like is the possibility. So, it just sucks because we're not able to do what we normally are able to do. You know, we can't request our reductions in altitude, and I don't think I could even request 1,000. Well,
please expedite your climb flight level 180.
let's try this. Let's even just see if it goes to
Casablanca
17,000.
Center, A40SB237. Request 5,000 feet.
A 40 SB237 request denied.
That's weird. See, it's not even like lining up with what we have. You know, as far as our... Yeah, that's a very strange situation. Yeah, something's not right. Did you not see the ATC switch? I don't think I did. And that's why I kind of feel like something's different today. Oops. You know.
A 40 SB237, please expedite your climb flight level 180.
See, even if I pause and I go to general options, like under traffic, there's not a way to turn off the ATC. Like, I think it would be here. I apologize that I keep resetting or pausing stuff. So I don't know. Yeah. You have first 100. Oh, I think that's only for the like, it would just take that off the toolbar. That's what that means, Jamal. Not,
please expedite your climb flight level 180.
I don't think it would turn off the ATC altogether. It just would remove that option from the toolbar right there. So we'll just continue. It's just going to be a pain in the butt with everything. So we'll just do the best we can and hope that at some point things will kind of start to make some sense. But we should start to turn after this marker here. So we should start making our approach into Casablanca. But what I may have to do is I may have to do I think under assistance menu. That's what I thought too, but I don't remember where. See, that's this radio communications with ATC. See, that says like ATC UI panel open at start. Yeah, see, like, I think I have to be out of the flight to change. Something's not right today. Like, something just feels different. I don't know why, but it does. So I think I'm just going to have to deal with it after the fact, and maybe I just need to do a full reboot, and hopefully that clears things out, because there just might be something, and I don't know. It's a very been so long since I turned it off. I can't. Yeah, I think it is like out once you're flying. Like, they don't want you to disable it. It's like you're stuck with it. So you know, deal with it. So we're just gonna keep on and just do the best we can, and you know, it's just going to be annoying because it's
The 40
that.
SB237, please expedite your climb.
I mean, I'm
flight
half
level
tempted to
180.
just try to zip up to 18,000 feet or flight level 180, which is not possible in this plane. Like, it would be we would probably stall if we tried to go essentially 9,000 feet very quickly. So, and we're also, like, not, yeah, we're 70 nautical miles, which is about, I'm guessing, let's see, let me do the math real quick. Yeah, 80 miles, I figured about right. So we're 80 statute miles to the airport. I think I'm just going to have to suffer through it, and unfortunately that means you guys are going to have to suffer through it. Now, I could probably quiet it. Matter of fact, I think that's what I'm going to do. Let's just go in here under General Options, Sound, and I'm just going to... where's the voices? Yeah, we'll just do that. That way you're not going to hear it for the rest of the flight. You should only hear my voice. Yeah, I just turned the voices down, Jamal, and I'll sort it out later. It's for some reason, like I said, something just doesn't seem normal today in the sim, and I don't know if it's because of the beta testing that's going on that's introducing stuff sim wide that like I didn't ask to partake in the stuff, so I just turned the voice off, so just silenced it, and you won't hear my co-pilot's voice either, so we'll just go with that. I just have to keep an eye on the see, we're supposed to be turning. Why would that marker be like this? Something's wrong with this flight plan altogether, it feels like. Yeah, something's not right. See if it should turn to the left. We should get a new marker to the left. It should show up over here somewhere. There we go. So I'm not sure what that one is supposed to be. Alright, let's zoom out here a little bit on the map and have a look. That's zooming in. So if you look, so we have this track to there, to SLK, and then we should turn in for our approach into Casablanca. But it's weird because that one's still showing, like, I think that's like that was for a different flight plan into Casablanca. So yeah, there's just something's not right today. I don't really know what it is. I could guess all I want, but it's just seems like something is come on. Why are you doing this to me? There we go. Oops. It's 5. It's 10. Okay. All right. So yeah, there's just some stuff. Yeah, but I kind of feel like options, systems, piloting, AI radio communication off, assistance. I could just, yeah, I guess the problem's going to be, no. Yeah, see, I don't think, I think that just turns off the, it'll still show it in the bottom like the, we're just going to stick with it, guys. I appreciate all the thoughts and trying to figure out, but I get the feeling like something, this seems to be a problem on the Xbox, and I agree with you, Skip. Yeah, it might just be. I agree with you that normally you have to partake in the beta in order for it to affect it, but sometimes it feels like there's problems with the that get introduced regardless, like it spills over somehow. That, I mean, I get that's the feeling. I could be wrong, but I just get the sense that there's something isn't right. I can't put my finger on it. I wish I could, but something doesn't feel right today. So I don't know what else to do. Just something's not working right. So I don't know. So we're just gonna plug along here. We turned off the voices, so you won't have to hear the nagging, so to speak. So we're just gonna do the best we can, and hope that we can land this thing nice and safe. And you're right, it may be user error. I had turned it off in the past, but then once like Sim Update 7 came out, I turned it back. Or maybe it was the weather. I don't remember. There's been so many like little hiccups in this sim that it's hard to figure out what's causing what. You know, like I didn't fly with live weather for a while when we had that crazy thing with the insane high temperatures up at 27,000 feet or something. So I don't really know. Oh, I know, it's okay, but I'm willing to concede that there's a possibility that there's something that I'm doing that is causing, you know, the hiccup. So I'm willing, you know, like, but that's part of the thing. Like, I try to go over what might have happened to cause it, you know. So see, now I had to acknowledge that. Well, I did turn off that. Okay, that's why. So we can't request a change in altitude, so that's fine. But why is that marker behind us now? See, that's something that's happened as well. I don't know. But we got the voices off, so we're just going to stick with that. So we are on our way to, it says SLK. Erla was the one behind us. We were cleared to there, I think. So it's like it's got this Erla M transition. Okay. Yeah, we are at 8,900 feet, you knucklehead. We're already there. That's why. Okay, so we're kind of back on track now. Okay, so we're gonna stick. So I think finally whatever was happening is kind of air quotes, fixed itself. So we're just gonna keep on keeping on. So this has been one heck of a flight. And I do understand what you're saying, Skip, about that the beta shouldn't affect. I just sometimes and again, I could be wrong. Sometimes it feels like the beta somehow is, it may just be on the Xbox side. Somehow, some way, something is in the system gets changed, whether they meant to or not. Maybe they meant to only change it in the beta, introduce some different things, and then have people test it. But for whatever reason, it gets into the non-beta version. And again, I could be wrong. I kind of feel like that's part of the problem, but I may be overthinking it as well. So I concede that. But I just know something today is not correct. So I don't know what else to think. And sometimes that's the frustrating part in the sim is it really down to user error, or is there a glitch, or is there, and I try to check the forums too to see if other people are having a similar issue, which sometimes does happen. People will say, yeah, I was flying today and I had a flight plan, and then all of a sudden the ATC was telling me something completely different, so, but we're getting there. We're going to land and we're going to wrap this thing up. It's been quite the adventure today, not in the way that I was expecting, certainly. So I do appreciate everybody hanging around and all that. I do appreciate everybody's knowledge. Don't get me wrong. I just try to figure things out as best as I can. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It's fine. But it's hard to know when you're wrong and when you're right sometimes in this sim. So yeah. So we're getting there. Let's try to speed up a little bit and try to get to our destination here. It's been quite the flight. So okay. And again, Skip, I do understand that. I'm speculating here. I'm not saying it's correct. That's my feeling tells me that's what's happening. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's hard to know what's causing what sometimes in the sim. Is it a glitch because of something else, or is it because some server's down and they haven't rebooted it, or there's a bunch of things that I think happen that are causing all this, but it's hard to pinpoint it. So, like I said, I get what you're saying, and I'm willing to admit that I could be completely wrong on that. It's just that's what my gut instinct tells me is happening, but my gut instinct could be completely wrong. So, anyway, there we go. So we're getting there. We're making our way to land, and looking forward to being on the ground. It's been one heck of a flight for sure today. Did not expect it to take this long and have so many issues, but it is what it is. But at least we're done with I think I could turn the voice back on, because now I want to make sure that I don't miss. I'm going to put the voices back on so I don't miss any sort of stuff on ATC when we need to. I just put it where I can hear it, but not that it's blasting in your guys' ear. So that way I don't miss anything, because I could keep an eye on the bottom of the screen, but if I'm looking elsewhere or I'm not paying attention to the screen, I can at least still hear the ATC if it tells us to descend or whatever at this point. So I just rather have that. So I think we're past the craziness. Fingers crossed, knock on wood. All right, gotta get a little swig of water to clear my throat. I find when I fly a long distance, didn't seem like it was going to be long distance, but it turned out to be that way. My throat gets dry and I start to get like a dry cough. Anyway, all right. Oh, you know what? I bet you I need to change also. I just remembered. Okay, it's on. Alright, I just wanted to make sure that I was able to hear them. Alright, we're going to stay out of the menus as much as possible for the remainder of the flight. It has certainly added to the... it's added up in the length of the stream and all that, so... How did I... Wait a minute, what? I didn't even realize I must have accidentally pushed the button for the flaps. Oops-a-daisy. I just looked, I'm like, I looked outside, I'm like, why are the flaps down? I didn't put the flaps down. Well, there we go. So we're... Alright. I can't wait till we turn and start descending into either into Casablanca. Quite the flight, for sure. I'm looking forward to this being over here shortly. Oh, man. See off the coast there a little bit. Have you tried proper ILS landing with the NXI? I think I have, Skip. I couldn't say for sure. I think I have. But again, it's one of those things that I've had... you know, when the working title thing came out, I was like, okay, maybe this will improve the system. I've had some bad luck with it. So if it doesn't lock in on the approach, I just land it manually. So it's been hit and miss, it seems. Sometimes everything works beautifully, and other times it's like, it doesn't, something's not working. You know, it's hit and miss. So I know there's like an approach mode, like you have to activate the approach mode, and I think once we're at our next marker there in front of us, I think I could do that, because that's where the approach mode, I think, really kind of, you know, or activate the approach, not the approach mode, but activate the approach in the so I think if I click flight plan, or maybe it's the proc menu. See, it says select approach, right? It's blinking. So I think if I hit enter, right, that should activate the approach, right? Am I understanding that correctly? Switching to approach mode when close enough so it will capture the glide. So yeah, I tried, you know, the other day you were asking me about that, Skip. I looked in here, I tried to figure out how to add stuff. I don't know how to do it, quite honestly. I am perplexed at how all that works. So I see that it's blinking. I could click enter, I think, and that should it should bring all that information, I think, into the system, I think, but I could be wrong. That's yeah, I have activated that before, but I've not had the, okay, so it's in there, right? I see the ILS 335 right Zulu, so it should be in there. So when I hit the APR button, yeah, I have done that before. So so it's in there. I saw it in there, so it's there. So it should, when I hit the APR button, everything should go according to plan. Should. That doesn't always work. I know that. But I did, when you mentioned that the other day about adding it in manually, I could not get it to go. I tried and I tried and I tried, and it's just not. And again, I don't know if it's a limitation. I tried it with the working title one, it didn't work. I uninstalled the working title Garmin, tried it with the standard one, didn't. So I think there's just I don't know if it's an Xbox thing or not. So it takes a bit to learn how to use it, but it's great when you get it to, yeah, I think that's the case in any part of the sim. There's, when you're able to do stuff and it works and you're just like, okay, everything is working. You may not understand how you got it to work, but it's working. So yes, I would agree with you there. It's been hit and miss. It's been trial and error for me. Sometimes I've made guesses and bam, it works. Other times it's like, why isn't this working like I thought it would? You know, so, you know, I think I've flown long enough now where I kind of know what to expect, but that doesn't always, my expectations are not always correct, or, you know, what knowledge base I have built up so far doesn't always apply all the time. So, anyway, there's just been a lot going on today. All right, let me get another swig of water here. Oh. Okay. Now let's we are near our turn-in point. I think we're going to descend quite a bit. Yeah, and I do agree with that, Skip. You're absolutely right. That's I try to do the best I can. That's what when things go wrong, I try to figure it out based on my experiences so far. And sometimes that doesn't fix the problem. And if all else fails, I just turn off all this, I disengage the autopilot and everything, and I just do it manually. So that's my usual response. If I can fly it in manually, that's what we'll do. Yeah, that's the last ditch effort. If I can't figure out how to get the system to work, we're just going to land it ourselves, and that'll be it. So, and I'm prepared to do that, at least in this plane, because I don't think it's that much of a thing to deal with, So, anyway, I feel like being at 8,900 feet is a bit high. And the field elevation is 665 feet. So, I'm guessing we need to be at about 3,500? Something like that. I don't know. I feel like we're way too high at this point in the flight, but I could be wrong. It just feels high. Higher than we should be. Like, I feel like we should be at like 5,000 feet, but I can't request that reduction. Because now we're under the... So I think the reductions are going to happen very quickly, and we're going to have to expedite it. So I have to throttle way back and try to get down in altitude very quickly, but it's going to be a bit crazy. So, but I could be wrong.
Contact Mohammed V. Approach on 119.9. Good day.
All right. Well, we don't have to worry about updating our altimeter, so we don't need to worry about that.
Mohammed V approach A40 SB 237 8,900.
Let's see if we get a reduction in altitude here.
40 SB 237 Mohammed V approach altimeter
Nope,
29
not yet.
decimal 9 2 continue to Sierra Lima Kilo.
Maybe we're at the right altitude. Yeah, it's just at the standard because I turned off the weather, Skip. When we took off, before we took off, I put it to no weather, so it's on the standard 299 So, yeah. But otherwise, we would have gotten. I think once we contacted approach, we would have gotten an updated barometric altimeter reading, I should say. So. I kind of feel like once we get past this marker, it's going to be a very quick set of events, I think. I could be wrong, but I kind of get the feeling that's what's getting ready to happen. So let's see what we get. See the coast still off there in the distance. See it a little bit better as we get closer to the airport. We'll make that turn. Kind of see 35 right. Just over there, I believe, right where the cursor is. So, all right. So I am going to not that I'm meaning to or anything. I'm going to pay attention to here. I won't be paying attention to the chat. So I do apologize in advance. I don't mean to. Yeah, that's why I'm saying, Skip. It seems like we should be at a lower altitude already. And so when we turn, it's going to be like, I'm going to have to just zip down to like 3,500 or something like that. It's going to be a very quick sort of, like, it's going to be insane trying to get to that altitude very quickly. So we'll do the best we can. So anyway, all right, I'm going to that's what I would have thought, but it didn't give me, like, I was expecting a lower altitude than 8,900. See? So my guess was about right. So we're going to have to really, let's throttle back here. We're going to have to really go. Like, we've got to really, I don't think even that's going to be enough. Yeah, that's not going to be enough either. See, 2,000 feet a minute is the best I can do. Man. And that was a total guess that it would be about 3,500 on my part. It really was. Goodness gracious. But we're just going to hope for the best here. That we can get to that altitude as quickly as possible.
40 SB 237, you are 15 miles south of Mohammed V. Contact Mohammed V Tower on 121.0 when inbound on the approach.
I can't activate the approach mode.
Tower on 121.0.
I got it. It's fine.
Mohammed V Tower,
I'm going to have to.
14 miles south inbound ILS Zulu runway 35 right approach.
40 SB 237 Mohammed V Tower. Altimeter 29.9 to wind.
We may just have to turn off the approach mode.
Runway 35 right approach.
Cleared ILS Zulu runway 35 right approach. A40 SB 237.
We're getting there. Alright, we should kind of get ready to level off here. There it goes. We're starting to pull back up here. Whew. Made it. By the hair on our chinny chin chin. Don't think I can activate. Let's see what happens if I activate the approach mode. Oh, it's already taken it. Look at that. Wow. Okay. Well, good deal. All right, the tractor beam has locked us on. So, all right. Well, that worked out surprisingly well. Not gonna lie. I want to get the last bit of flaps down so we completely slow down as much as we need to. Kind of keep an eye on the speed. All right, it's blue, so we're at the target speed, I think. That's why that's blue. Make sure we don't stall. Have enough speed to carry us over the threshold. Now it says we're speeding.
By 40 SB 237, wind 271 at tree. Cleared to land runway tree 5 right.
Cleared to land runway tree 5 right, a 40 SB 237.
That's the plan, Skip. Trust me, that is the plan. And I've buttered it pretty well more often than not. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. I have messed it up more often than not, but I have buttered some really good landings, so anyway. Alright. Of course, we have way more runway than we really need to land. It's kind of odd that the markers here to help us with the glide slope and lining up for the runway, it doesn't seem like there was much left to it to get us there. You know, like it's a very short sort of, like, normally we see something that's farther out, but it's fine. I'm just glad that the ILS took hold and guiding us in correctly. But like I said, we would have, if we had to land it manually, that's what we would have done. So we'll get past the lights there. We'll cut off the autopilot once we're a little bit closer. And we'll throttle back and set it down. Seems like we got a little off track there. Like we were off the side of the runway almost. We're gonna try to. Got plenty of space here. Oops. There we are. On behalf of myself and the entire flight crew, including First Officer Mick, we'd like to welcome you to Casablanca. The local time is 1400. Please keep your seatbelts fastened until we get to our parking spot. We appreciate you flying with us today. We know you have many options when it comes to your Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream viewing pleasures.
By 40 SB 237, turn next taxiway.
We appreciate you decided to fly with us today. Do join us tomorrow in the DA62 flight.
By 40 SB 237, contact ground on 121.7.
121.7 a 40 SB 237.
By the way, this was a closed runway. Oh. Yeah. Alright, ground 1217. Parking.
Mohammed V. Ground a 40 SB 237, request taxi to parking.
A 40 SB 237 taxi to general aviation parking using taxiway Alpha.
Taxiing to general aviation parking via taxiway Alpha a 40 SB
Turn that
237.
off. There we go. Now I looked, I would think that now of course they may not have an updated information on that as far as that runway being closed. So but anyway, we're here. So ta-da. Anyway, yes, tomorrow in the DA62 Ottawa to Bar Harbor. That will not be at the usual time. It will be as quickly as I can get home and get ready for the flight. I will try to go live as quickly as I can, of course, as long as I can. Like to kind of get home and have a moment to kind of collect myself before we start the stream. So we will try to get that happening as soon as I can. So I can't give a target time because I don't know how long it's going to take me to get back home from the employment. So now I do try to check for something like that, Jamal. I do try to check in the Navigraph charts so that it would say, you know, like runway blah 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 is closed, so don't try to land there. I don't think that that's what was there. Like when I made the plan, it didn't. When I looked at all the airport information cards on Navigraph, it didn't have anything about the runway being closed. But I didn't see any sorts of like markers or like, you know, anything. But I could be wrong. Maybe today it's closed. I don't know. But we're here. So all right, this thing just wants to go all over the place. All right. There goes the engine, and we'll turn off the avionics. There we go. That should end the flight. There we go. Yeah, it may not have been updated recently, and it may just be because of the region of the world that it's not getting that updated information, or they don't know because it's not being reported, worldwide that particular runway is closed. So anyway, that's going to be it for today, folks. I do greatly appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out today. Great flight, 2 hours and 13 minutes added to our total flight time. So we're at 234, almost 235 hours. So we are on our way to 300, making our way there, and then onwards and upwards. And you're welcome, Jamal. Thank you for coming in and hanging out. Thank you, Captain or Skip, and everybody else who was over on the Twitch stream. Greatly appreciate you being here, and I will see you all tomorrow, to be determined, but I will try to go live within a reasonable amount of time of returning home from my appointment. So take care and enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. I will see you all later. Peace, live long and prosper.